Hey friends, Lori Michelle here with Choosing to Shine. Another busy week, so I thought I'd just hop on and do a live. I did some recordings with Gail earlier, but I haven't had time to edit those. So that was a really good conversation, and you guys are gonna love it. Really we're gonna have multiple conversations about money and money mindset, money coaching, and money blocks, which can be, um, sorry, I'm really tired this week. I've been having really a hard time with my ADHD today. Um, I took a nap. I thought that would help, but I guess not. Maybe I need more sleep. I'm not sure. Um, so I kind of wanted to follow up with last week's video of the gratitude and the that whole thing of accepting help. If you haven't watched that video, it was last Sunday where someone told me they were going to install a bathtub and shower for free because I did not have one. I was showering at work, and I was showering in a shed that had been converted to an art studio for my kids when they were younger. So um, kind of walking across the lawn with my towel on. And he goes, "No, we're not going to do that anymore. We're going to give you some dignity back." So they showed up the very next morning and got right to work, and it was finished in 3.5 days. And not only that, but also my ceiling, there was like a big piece of, I don't know, maybe like 1.5 foot, 2 foot strip of drywall that had been missing for years from previous to the hurricane damage, a tornado that I had a couple years before that. So got all that fixed, like perfect uh drywall. I can't even see like where it originally was messed up. So everything looks super great. And but I wanted to talk to you about, if you're anything like me, accepting help, asking for help, and to sit in that gratitude of help without expecting anything back. So immediately, the very first day, there were like 6 people in the house. The general contractor was coming and going. It was, just like a whirlwind of things that were unexpected, right? And I just did not also think that it was going to happen immediately. And so thankful that it did. But anyway, my own mindset was that, and I was talking to my friend who was here. I was like, oh gosh, like I feel like I want to go like buy them pizza and beer, and like I need to do something nice for them. And um I actually talked to the general contractor. He called me that night and he was like, hey, like, this was done. Tomorrow, these guys are going to come and they're going to do this, this, and this. Like, just really great. Like, honestly, he was like me as a wedding planner and wedding coordinator that he was with construction, like, just thinking so far ahead and what that looked like. And even to the point where nothing that had anything to do with him, um, there was a big tarp out front where we had been throwing like all the garbage. And he said he even came and picked up all the trash, and but he left the tarp, and he goes, when you're ready to pick that up, make sure that you check it first, because the grass is pretty high over there and there could be some snakes. And I was like, this dude is just like me, but as a general contractor that I was as a wedding planner. So just thinking so far ahead. So that was really nice. But to get back to the point of the video, I talked to him and I said, hey, like, I really want to do something nice for the guys. Like, can I don't know, find out where everybody is on Friday, because I knew they were doing a big job down the road, and maybe bring pizza and beer. And he goes, no, that's not allowed. It's, even if it's after hours, it's still on a customer's property, and you know that's just not allowed. We got to keep it professional. I was like, okay, I respect that. And I felt like, and nothing towards him, like, I did understand that, but I just kind of sat in this feeling. And if you go back and watch the video of about a month and a half to maybe 2 months ago now, the one where I talked about my friend's home burning down, it was kind of like that feeling of sitting in that quietness of um how am I trying to explain this? Helplessness, or that something wasn't something wasn't quite right. I was receiving something, but I wasn't giving anything back. And I kind of talked to my therapist about this, and I was like, yeah, I'm just having a hard time. Like, I feel like I need to do something. But at the same time, I had an uncle, well, I have an uncle that a long time ago had come over and done some car automotive work for me. And I tried to give him some gas money, and he said, no, like, I'm not taking your money. And I said, well, or he said, I'm doing you a favor. I don't want you to pay me. And I said, well, I'm not paying you. I'm just giving you gas money. He's like, no, like, let me give. That's my gift to you. And you're trying to take that away from me. And I went, oh, no, I'm sorry. I don't really understand this concept. Um, and that just goes back to childhood, right? Of when you're always in a position that something has to be for something, or they're going to hold that over you later. Um, or that you're not worthy to receive a gift, so you try to not make it a gift. So I've really had to sit in that all week, and extremely, extremely grateful. I'm not trying to say anything otherwise. I am just trying to explain and help others be self-aware of why we do things, and possibly why we feel guilty when people do things for us and there's no catch. That there are actually just decent humans in this world that want to help. That's like the feeling that I'm trying to describe, and hopefully that'll help others. There was a really phony moment though with the general contractor. Um, the last day he came over, and he says, straight face, so tomorrow, the plumber will be back after the tile is done and dried, and they're going to install, the trim kit, all that stuff, and the faucet in the shower, and the camera. And I went, like, the camera, because he was posting on his social media pages, so I'm thinking, why wouldn't he just do it while he was here? And I'm looking at him. He goes, the shower cam. And then it hit me that he has that dry sense of humor like my dad used to have. And I was like, damn it, I knew there was a catch to this. It was really funny. It just kind of helped me lighten the mood. And, obviously I knew he was totally joking. Um, but I don't know. It was like I was in that place of there has to be something, like there has to be some kind of exchange of whatever. And, I wrote a review and I did some videos. And so that was like a way of me paying back without monetary gains. Um, but yeah, it was just really funny. So I don't know, I just wanted to hop on here and well, let me pull a card. Let me light my candle, set an intention. My candle's almost burnt out here, but it's so little. Let's see. Add this other camera. There we go. All right, let's just give those a little shuffle. Guys, my cards should be in this week. I got an update from the printer. So excited to see them in person. You don't even know. But I think by the end of the week they should be here. So my God, so excited. I'm gonna pick this dark blue one here. Have you ever had a vision or a dream come true? And the other side says, have you ever had a dream or a vision that you wished would come true? So I'm going to talk about the first one. Have you ever had a dream or vision come true? Yes, I've had many, many dreams that were fruitions. The first one, I remember the very first dream I had, I was probably only about 8 or 9. I was pretty young. And it frightened me so bad that I was like forcing myself to stay awake and crying to my mom. And it was basically that my brother, who I haven't talked about on the show because he's a scary dude, that he was a psychopath and a killer. And that was when he was only 2. And that did come to fruition. And I don't want to talk too much about it because I don't want to make the channel all about that. But there's a big story there, and it'll be part of my book. The second one that I remember having was, I think I talked about this maybe last year on the podcast, but I had a vision of a home burning down, and I could see like the numbers on the mailbox, and the mailbox was on the house, and they were like burning away. And um forgot all about it, went to work, uh pulled up at work, and behind the office complex were homes, and our office was right on the back fence line. So saw a home like just catch on fire, and you could tell like there was nobody out there. It was early morning, nobody knew. So I ran in, called the police, and ran back out. Well, first I started yelling because I didn't see any movement. There was no neighbors out. There was no, and I knew it was early. I didn't see any people moving around. So I ran in, called the police or 911. I don't even know if it was 911 back then. Like, I don't even think we had 911 back then. Yeah, I'm old. It was, I think you just called the police number. And then I ran back outside, ran to the fence, and just started yelling and yelling and yelling. And finally, a woman came out in her nightgown with all her kids. And um, I called the fire department, and she's like, oh my gosh, like we were sleeping. I thought I heard somebody yell. So I got up and then I smelled the smoke. So it just started. I think it was in the attic. Um, and then another one that I had um, was about a girl here in Tampa that was kidnapped out of her young girl. I think she was 3 or 4, was kidnapped out of her bed. Um, and she was gone for a long time. And I had a dream about a street sign crossing, and it was like right at the intersection of and I could see like the street sign. So I got up, went to Google, and started researching it, and it was actually only a half a block right behind that house was a canal. And the guy that they had arrested weeks later was a fisherman and had a boat and was seen on a boat. And but I didn't know any of that when I had the dream. And then when I saw that, I was like, well, I kind of think I know where she is. So I actually did call the police, and I said, I know this is going to sound really crazy. I don't have any connection to anybody other than I live in the area, and my heart goes out to the family. But I think this is where she is. Um, and yeah, I've had many dreams like that. So yeah, I'm sure there was many, many more. Um, I have a lot of, like, you have dreams and then you have dreams, right? I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I know when I'm having a dream, and I know when I'm having a fruition or an intuition or something like that. Like, it's just, it feels real. And I have a lot of like visions, especially the last 2 years. And I'll talk more about that moving forward. But that's actually really interesting that I pulled that card, because it's summer solstice. So I thought I'd wear my little, oh, my hair is falling out. Sorry. Thought I'd wear my little stars, and yeah, for summer solstice. And yeah, so I guess my tip for the week for you guys would be aware of, self-aware of when you're feeling guilty, when you're feeling upset about something, and try to find like the root cause of that. Um, because there's probably something buried there. And if you take a moment and slow down and take a breath, or a bunch of breaths, you can really pull some things up that you can heal. And yeah, I feel like that's my hope for everyone here, is to heal, be a better than you were the day before, um, live boldly, of a lifetime of feeling small for different reasons, narcissists, toxic people, dysfunctional childhoods, all that stuff. I know for me, it was you want to be invisible because you don't want to stand out. You don't want to cause any commotion. You don't want to cause any ruckus that's going to upset anyone. So I am moving into my bold era, and I want all you guys to come along with me. So let's be bold together. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. And as always, love to all.